Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to build a temple at Starlight. Let's get building. Thanks for joining us, Gaming for XP, at a very barren looking Starlight Drive In. Everything is gone, the junkyard's gone, the trailer park's gone, the mechanics house, everything is just completely disappeared. So we're going to build something completely new today. And I had this idea a couple of weeks ago. I have no idea where it comes from. Sometimes I don't know where these ideas come from. But anyway, I had an idea to build some kind of Mayan stroke Aztec stroke some kind of temple. So that's what we're going to do today. And this is the easiest way I've found to do it. Is foundation down first. And I'm using the blocks from Workshop Rearranged. Half piece on, another set of stairs. Another half piece. There's a smaller set of stairs in this, and then of course the top, just like that, and then rinse and repeat on the other side. So given the response that we've had from our subscribers and viewers in the past with regard to helping me, thank you for your comments on the tribal hut. And thank you for your comments previously on the saloon at £10. I'm going to throw it out there. Maybe come up with a name for whose temple this is for me. Who do you think would have built this or would populate this? So that's the basic shell now. I tried to build this a couple of ways, and this is the best way I've found of doing it. So just to come back to that, if you leave in the comments down below who you think who owns the temple, and let's just have a little fun and see if we can come up with some names of some groups that might have built this or might use the temple here at Starlight. I know from previous builds you guys are excellent at coming up with some ideas, so thanks so much for the ideas on the tribal hut from last week, and thanks a lot for the comments and the likes on that one too. So just putting this first level round, as you can see, for some reason it's kind of weird. It has a kind of weird configuration. Now you'll see there are stairs on either side. Now I have to get rid of those because they don't work, but there was something I was trying, and as you do when you're building, and it just didn't work for me, so I have to get rid of those, but I've left them in for now, so you can see some of the ideas that I've tried. So although I did have a little bit of a practice when I was of building this, I've left a lot of the raw footage in here because it kind of shows you the thought process. So here I'm just putting down a foundation, and just to try and get my head around how this is all going to work in underneath here, and just so I can visualize it. And this is what I do a lot when I'm building, just trying to figure out how all the different levels are going to come together. So now we're just going to whack some walls on that. This is what the problem is here. I can't get around there now that these stairs are in, and so I'll need to take those out because I need to put some walls in here. So we'll put a door in there. That's going to be the entrance to the temple there, and I will figure out in a minute that those stairs are just not working. We do push all these walls. These will sit inside. I'll get rid of that now. So we're suddenly realising, yeah, that's just not going to work. So what we might do is give you some music while I'm putting all these walls in and figuring things out. Yes, there's nothing like a bit of speed building and a bit of guitar music to get the blood pumping in the morning. So we got a huge amount done there, guys. There's a few things that I'm not quite happy with at this point, but we will get to those in a minute. So now we just really, it's a case of figuring out how to work out this area in here and how to get downstairs. So and Siri decided to join us. I don't know why Siri keeps activating lately, guys, but she obviously likes our builds. So let's just see if we can figure out. And again, you know, this is all part and parcel of when you're building. You don't necessarily know quite how everything's going to work out straight away, and you just got to roll with it. So you can see I've left the wall piece out downstairs. That's really just to give me access and save me having to run back and forward. So what to do, best way of doing this is have an idea where you want the stairs to actually fit, and put them in, see if it works. And I think this is what happens here. And I think the stairs, my idea was to have the stairs there, but they're going to run straight into that pond there. I don't know why these brick pieces do that sometimes, but you can see that quite clearly that's sitting down a little bit. It's not flush, but yeah, that really doesn't worry me too much. That kind of inconsistency actually helps the overall look of this build. See, like that. I think that's just the stairs or something. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Now, I do end up extending this wall out a little bit in the end, and I don't think I show this in the build, but you'll see it in the final walkthrough. So we're just trying to figure out now where we want to run the stairs. And this spot here seems as good a spot as any to do it. Drop them in there if they're going to clip in there, which yeah, they're thinking about doing. I have to drop down and try and do them from the bottom. I don't know why it does this, but sometimes it does. Just persistence, I guess. But that's where we want to run them, right about there. Nice. So you can see, again, still trying to figure out this foundation down the bottom here. And again, this is just something that happens when you're building. I think one of the concerns that I have here is the fact that there's only a little lip to get around this water area, and how do I extend that out a little bit. Now these single blocks seem to clip in where the others don't, so you can see those stairs there now are causing an issue, so I'm going to have to move those over here. That's fine. And then of course I'm going to have to put some kind of foundation down under there. And yeah, all the time I'm doing this, this pool's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, but that's okay, it's not a problem. And you can see that there's a very kind of thin edge there for me to work with. All little things when you're improvising and building. So when you're building, I guess anything, when you're building certain things, there are always compromises that you have to try and work your way around. Now you can see I've built these, but there's a couple of gaps up the top here, and so that is my first option, is just to put those pieces in. But you'll see in a second there goes an issue. They're just sticking out and they just don't look right, so I've got to come up with a plan B. And I've left all this, what I'm about to do, in, and it actually doesn't turn out to be the final solution anyway, but I don't like the way these are they're sticking out up above. But I'll show you one of the solutions that I do come up with to try and fill that gap there. And also, as is customary, I'll fall off a number of times when I'm doing that. But hey, not a real builder unless you've fallen off. Now you see how that's now clipped in for some reason, and you can see suddenly the walls for some reason will just clip straight in there. It's kind of strange, but anyway, I'm not complaining. I'll take the win. Here we go, in you go. and that one's just not going to play ball, is it? Anyway, sometimes you just got to take the small wins and come back and try and figure that stuff out a little bit later. And I think it's got a lot to do with the set of stairs off to the left there. So I tried various walls here to try and fix that, but nothing works. So I'm going to cut out all that struggle there, because there was various things that I tried, nothing worked. So here's the solution that I start to come up with for the gaps up the top here. We do all figure this out in the end, by the way. It does take quite a considerable amount of time, and it's amazing, never ceases to amaze me when you're building, how the small details are the ones that tend to give you the most problems and take the most time to fix. But we do figure it out, and in the end the solution is actually simpler than I estimated. But anyway, luckily these pieces exist in Workshop Rearranged, and now you can see what the problem is here. It actually sticks out there, and it's great for blocking those up, and yeah, it's great to work with. There's now I've got two of these things sticking out, so I'm gonna go to plan Z now and try and figure out how to do this. And yeah, when I look back on this and when I'm watching this, the actual solution is pretty simple, to be honest. And I've left it in because the process it's important. So it's important for you to see this, that sometimes it's worth just ripping everything out and starting again, because there you go, the solution is right in front of me now. That is a thicker wall, so I need to get a thinner wall, but this will work. There we go, and there you go, straight away that clips in and it fills that gap beautifully. So we'll get rid of those. Half wall in, clip straight in, there you go, we've fixed it straight up. Amazing, eh? And all we have to do is worry about the gap down the bottom now, which is actually not as hard to figure out as you would think. So we have these other walls here, not these ones here, and these will snap into that gap. They just take a bit of persuading. Sometimes it does this, sometimes you can angle them around, and sometimes it will just lock the angle for some reason. So they will. So what I'm doing is I'm just, see there, it clips straight in. For this one, for some reason it won't. But you can see what I'm doing is just checking whether it will actually glitch in there, and then Place Anywhere will allow me to do this, no problem. But what it's doing is I can't actually physically manipulate it for some reason. So you actually have to grab it on the right angle to get it in, and it takes a little bit of time, but there we go, done. So that was important just to leave that process in, because it did take a bit of figuring out, but thank goodness, because it's taken, I wasn't liking those bits sticking up at the stairway, but now they're all fixed. So the door still sticks up a little bit, but you know, I'm happy with that. So here's the final tour, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoy the tour. So I decided to do this at night time. I thought it was better to do it at night time. I have brightened it up a bit. It does look a bit blue, but you can see I've added these pillars in, and I've put SOE has the mechanist layer, a whole lot of stuff from the mechanist layer. So they have these torches with the skeletons on. So I've added these in. A whole lot of stuff for creative clutter with those candles, and I've added a lot of these pillars and walkways in here, and I think it just adds a little bit more dimension to the overall look. It looked just a little bit plain before. I have left some of these vehicles in on either side just to make sure that it's still kind of in keeping with us being at Starlight Drive In, and so I'll just show you all the way around the temple, and then we will go in. And those pillars are everywhere, so those kind of torches are everywhere, and you can just see how it's got a nice vibe and a nice look about it. I've added a big beacon on the top and a couple of statues. I guess they're Institute statues or something on either side. And you can see just to the right there where I've extended this wall out from the main area and then filled the rest in with pillars, just to make it all look pretty natural and nice. So what I might do for the rest of the tour is just give you some atmospheric music and you can enjoy the rest of the tour.